Hey guys, Sieben here, and today I want to ask and answer the question, why didn't we get a new Nissa Revane card in Battle for Zendikar? Before all the cards in Battle for Zendikar were revealed, a lot of us were asking which Planeswalkers would be represented in this set. Early on, we already knew Gideon was probably making the cut. He's like the superstar of the set, lore-wise, and he was spoiled in week 1. In a video I made about a month ago, I predicted we would see Gideon, Kiora, and Obnixilis, leaving Nissa out of the original cut. Turns out this was accurate, but many of you in the comments made me question my choices. I mean, how could Nissa not get a new print in BFZ? She's been well represented in the story, having numerous solo articles dedicated to her journey through Zendikar. She's the shining champion of the plane itself, the very thing rising up against the Eldrazi. Nissa's basically the second most important figure in the BFZ storyline, next to Gideon. Makes perfect sense that she would have a new card. But she doesn't. She's depicted in a lot of the set's art, and even had early art released that looked to be her actual Planeswalker card. Even still, we didn't get a new Nissa. Why? Well, if you're up to date with the ongoing story for BFZ, you'll know that Nissa's been going through a lot of ups and downs lately. Early in the story, she's afraid and a bit timid. Then she becomes basically a god with the power to control the entire plane. Then she loses it. If you guys watched my last video, you know that Nissa actually lost a lot of her powers, something which hasn't happened to any other Planeswalker on Zendikar. She can't speak to the land, summon elementals, or even perform minor nature magic. She can still Planeswalk, probably, but other than that, she's just an average elf. Since Nissa has vowed to stay on Zendikar, I'm assuming the Planeswalking thing won't really come in handy. While a card could have been designed for Nissa depicting her at her height of power, I don't think that's what Wizards wanted us to take away from the story. Usually, when a card, especially in the case of Planeswalkers, makes the cut, it's meant to represent them at a specific point in time. If Wizards was to make Nissa a card for this set, it would obviously be her at her strongest, either at the point when she was controlling entire armies of elementals, or near the end of the set when she inevitably regains her powers. They didn't want to make a card which showed her controlling the elementals because, while fitting, it isn't truly how Nissa is in the BFZ storyline. She's a character who's suffering, more so than anyone else, internally. She's in conflict with herself, plagued by self-doubt and guilt, which has gotten worse as the story progressed. If they made her a card when she was at her height, people playing the game would see her as only this character at her pinnacle, when in reality, and especially now, she's someone who's lost it all. I actually believe Nissa being excluded from this set was a good move. They could have shoehorned her in, of course, but it wouldn't have done the character justice. Assuming Wizards wouldn't print Nissa the Self-Doubtress or Nissa Powerless of Zendikar cards, then they would have definitely had to represent the character in a way that contradicts her storyline. Although she isn't getting a card in BFZ, I'd put money on her showing up in Oath of the Gatewatch. They've invested so much in her story and character development to not use her in this block. Now, I have no idea what the story of that set could be, or Nissa's role in it, only that it involves some kind of oath and some sort of watch, which I'm sure Nissa will be a part of. Overall, I agree with Wizards' decision to wait on the Nissa card. From what I see in the story, Nissa being printed in BFZ would have been a mistake, either from a card or lore perspective. Waiting until Oath of the Gatewatch will allow the designers to get the best of both worlds. And there you go guys, my thoughts on why Wizards didn't print a new Nissa Revane card, even when all evidence prior to the set suggested they would. I want to know what you guys think about this. Are you upset that you didn't get a new Nissa in BFZ? Are you looking forward to her return in Oath of the Gatewatch? Let me know in the comments below. As always guys, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, share, and subscribe to the channel. It goes a long way in supporting future content. As always guys, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.